Okay, so here's our first video lesson for the essential skill systems of linear equations. I'm just going to go ahead and follow these steps here to be able to solve graphically for my very first video. So if we take a look at this, I'm just going to follow the steps off to the side. So I'm going to graph the two lines on the coordinate plane. So the very first thing that I'm going to look at here is the first equation. It looks like I'm going to have a y-intercept of -4. So I'm going to go down to -4 on my y-axis, and I'm going to plot that point. And then I'm going to do the slope of +2, so up to right 1. I'm going to go ahead and do it multiple times. Up to right 1, and then continue up to right 1. I'm not totally sure exactly where these lines are going to intersect each other, and that's what I'm going to be looking for here. So I'm just going to keep plotting points until I feel like I've kind of covered the graph itself. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and graph the line that goes through these guys. So there's the first one that I have. Okay, moving on to the next one. I want to go ahead and graph the next equation. It looks like the y-intercept is going to be at +3, so I'm going to go up to 3 on the y-axis here. I'm just going to go ahead and color code these guys. So there's my y-intercept of 3, and then I have a slope of -1/3. So I'm going to go down 1 and then right 3 units. Looks like I found the point of intersection. So down 1, right 3 units, and then I'm going to do one more up and over here. Okay, let's go ahead and graph the line that goes with these guys. Okay, so there is the line that goes with them. All right, the last thing that I need to do is identify what the actual solution is to this. Well, the solution is the point of intersection, so I'm going to draw a little arrow here to where these graphs hit each other. I'm going to write that this is the solution, and then I'm going to identify what that solution is. And the solution is a point, so it looks like it's at 1, 2, 3, comma 2. So my answer is going to be 3, 2. So again, whenever we're trying to find the solution to a system of equations, we're looking for the point or points of intersection where the graphs run into each other. That's our first example. We take a look at the next one. On this one, it looks like the equations aren't in the form that we would typically want them in. So I'm going to take each of those equations first, and I'm going to rewrite them as y equals. So if we take the first one, and I want to get y equals, so I'm going to subtract the x to the other side. And that's going to give me y equals, my x's are going to cancel. I like my x to come first so I can see the slope, which is the coefficient. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other equation as well. So if I write that equation down, it's going to give me 2x minus 3y equals -9. I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to move the 2x to the other side. Those are going to cancel. Don't forget that negative sign on the 3. I like my x to come first, then my constant to come second. Last thing I need to do is make sure I divide everybody by -3. Okay, so those are going to cancel here. So that's going to give me y is equal to, well, a -2 divided by a -3 is a +2/3 x, and then a -9 divided by a -3 is a +3. Okay, so at this point, I'm now going to go back and I'm going to graph the first equation. So the first one looks like it has a y-intercept of -2. So I'm going to go down to -2. And then my slope for that is -1. So I'm going to go down 1, right 1. And again, for the same reason, I'm going to do this multiple times. So I'm not really sure where the lines are going to intersect each other. And I just like to extend kind of through my coordinate plane and hope that, one, my graph was big enough so I can see where the graphs actually intersect each other. And then it should give me a better idea of where my points are located for this line. So when I find the point of intersection, it should be easier for me to locate. Okay, so there is my line for that one. Okay, my second one, I see that my y-intercept is now at +3. So I'm going to go up to +3. And my slope this time is +2/3. So I'm going to go up 2 and then right 3 units. If I continue going in that direction, I know I'm not going to run into the line because it's not over there. So let's go backwards. So I'm going to go down to left 3 units. There we go. 2, 3. Give myself a couple of points here. Down to left 3. All right, go ahead and grab my ruler for this so I can connect the dots, get a nice straight line here. I know that continues. All right, last thing I need to do is actually identify where the solution is. So I'm just going to draw a little arrow to that guy so I know where it is. I'm going to write down that this is the solution and then state the point of intersection. So it's like -1, -2, -3, and then I have to go up 1 unit.